Hello, friends. Welcome to another Word of Gord, Spirit Contact. Robin Williams has been around from time to time. A connection has been established between us, and sometimes I can't tell if I'm visiting him or he's visiting me. And that such as energetic connections can be, especially if the spirit concerned is, adventurous and curious, and maybe even dependent. I wouldn't say he's dependent. I'd say he's more of the adventurous and curious sort. And I can feel him nodding and smiling as I'm saying that. And over the past few days since the initial contact, I felt concerned a little bit, not so much for him. I think he'll be okay in the long run, just fine, but this sense that he wishes and he wants and he will make a running commentary, a witty running commentary on what he perceives and around him as the days go by and the societal rituals unfold. And I'm afraid of two things. I will not be able to replicate that witty running commentary in anything like the amazing sort of fashion that he can do. I'll just fall flat in my face. It won't work at all. And the other thing is, I'm concerned that the witticisms he feels may not be shared by his loved ones and his colleagues, who are definitely still mourning his passing. No question about that. So I approach this with concern. I want you to know that. But I've made a commitment as a channeler, as a medium, to perform this function, to give this service. And Williams seems more than keen to take me up on the offer. And in the interim, since the first channeling, of the many great movies that he has made and inspired us with over the years, of which I'm a great fan, there is the afterlife movie What Dreams May Come, where he, as an actor, attempts to retrieve the somewhat lost soul of his suicide wife, as I recall. And it was a very powerful and well-made film. I really enjoyed it. And I haven't reviewed it because it went up. It was playing before I started doing Afterlife movie reviews, but maybe I'll dig it out of some store, some repository somewhere and get at it. And thank you for the posters who reminded me of that movie. Somebody just reminded me the other day. I had, neglected to remember it. Now, Robin definitely seems quite close to me right now, and he's moved out. I mean, he's still in his home to a large degree and following what's going on with his family and friends and visitors and preparations, and not that I know what they are. But he just wishes to speak of these things, and maybe more things that I have no suspicion of. And what's he saying now? He's saying, yes, fascinating, absolutely fascinating experience, seeing into people's hearts and minds. It's something I was able to do as a quote-unquote living person, and I seem even more able to do it now. One seems to be able to see through everything, not just through walls and floors and roofs into the sky and the surrounding community, but into people's hearts and minds as they experience what they experience in the wake of my foolish and selfish act, for which I am still most sorrowful and apologetic and wishing I could reverse it for myself and for you all, but I cannot. I can only do this. Well, perhaps I can not only do this, perhaps I can do other things And I'm desperately trying hard not to be terribly witty, as my channel is afraid he won't be able to bring it across in the manner to which you have become accustomed. And looking into his vocabulary and his wit, I would say he is correct. Thank you, Robin. I am not the talented comedian that you are, and probably never will be. I am a spirit communicator and writer. And may I just say to you, Robin, as we're dialoguing here to some degree, your wit reminds me of the response that Spalding Gray made when I contacted him. He was very amusing and did a little dance in front of me. I think it was a Ring Around the Rosie dance, which completely floored me. But there you go. Everyone has different reactions, and some people are serious, some people are sad, some people are despairing, some are hopeful, some are, well, there's many ways to transition, and yours is just as unique as anyone else's. And I'm wondering, do you feel as trapped as you said the other day? Oh, no, I'm not trapped. Well, not really. I've escaped the house. I've escaped the bondage of my action to some degree. I have moved around. I have found that I can move around. I have visited a number of colleagues and friends who have blessed me with their loving thoughts. And these loving thoughts, these reminiscences of our work together and our socializing together and our, shall I say, partying together, what have they done? Built a bridge, something I can move across, something that makes me enabled to visit them easily. I just think of them and they're there. Or, no, they think of me and I think back of them, and then I'm there. So to all of you who have sensed my presence, friends, loved ones, colleagues, I would say, well, maybe I haven't been everywhere, but I've visited a goodly number of you. Oh yes. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And I have tried to return the blessing of your love with mine own. But I fear I have not been as successful somehow or other, because you do not seem to feel me that much, but your grief and your tears and your sadness is perhaps holding you back. I have, of course, tried to be as close and as intimate and as loving to my family members, my dearest loved ones, as I can. And I do so with, the hat taken off the head and the head bowed in shame. I have let you down terribly, and I hope you can, in your ways, your various ways, forgive me for this selfish and foolish act. But you know what I suffered from. You know how it gripped me from time to time. You know the darkness that surrounded me, despite my ability to surmount it from time to time. The wiles and charms of the profession. How we dance outside ourselves into someone else, someone who we're not really, someone we are aping rather than being. But I think perhaps many of you sense that already. Comedians can be the greatest depressives and addictive personalities as we try to either escape or high energy or replicate it with, additives. Who's asking about John Belushi? Well, you're right. I've seen him. He's come by. He's been a happy guy. He's much recovered from whatever he went through years ago. He seems like Crazy old John. And I just mentioned him because I sense that these are the questions, or the most prominent question that seems to be arising amongst some of the thoughts that get through to me. And there are many thoughts and love and sadness and compassion and sympathy and all those great, wonderful things. I wish I could be more like the character I played in The Fisher King, inspiring you all to greater heights of, lying in Central Park and looking up at the stars, contemplative joy, and such like things. And so I go on, observing all, enjoying all, even my own negativity and self-criticism and shame. Oh, how I shame myself. It's almost shameful how much I enjoy shaming myself. And such are the thoughts that swirl around me as I work my way towards whatever I'm working my way towards. And here I am in this house of this communicator. Different house than mine. But, I'm getting to like it. I follow him up and down the stairs as he moves things around and goes out into the garden and does what he has to do. Everyone has a life, and I'm enjoying watching his from time to time. The world is a sad place, and I know you all still live in it, whereas I seem to have kind of stepped out for a little smoke. And as you all will one day. How does it look from here? Depends on what I focus on. Really, I can look at many, well, maybe not many, some happy events outside in the world as I roam around, float about. I can see random acts of kindness and little spots of happiness here and there and everywhere. But I know you're all concerned about social unrest and wars and diseases, rampant diseases, and poverty, and not enough of what people often need. It's and I wish I could do more about it, but I just see it as I float around, as you do when you look at your media and such like things. So I'm rambling, and I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah. Okay, Robin. I think we get the point. Thank you for communicating. That's for me, Gordon, and I'm sure everyone else is to some degree or other grateful. Thank you, and we wish you well. Be easy on yourself. As I say that, I see him holding up his hand and going, "Yes, sir." Robin. Nice. Thank you. Love. Peace. Serenity. At least in little bits and pieces. I wish you all a farewell for now.